see here. Hi, it's Exploring John. I'm here with Tri-State Grotto. Tonight for our Wednesday night caving trip, we're going to do Lower Nestles Quarry Cave. All right, we're up here trying to climb up to the entrance.
It's Ashley. Called up in there.
All right, so Adam's made it to the entrance, says it's warm. Okay, now we're looking into the entrance here. Made it to the top of the cliff. Well, not the top of the cliff, but the top of this opening. And we're gonna crawl through that. Here's Alicia coming through the entrance. And now we're in a passage where we can stand up and walk.
Yeah. I was just trying to get it in.
Having to crawl over some of these boulders. And we hit the end of this passage. And look to our right. There's a hole up there we're going through. So I can stand up again. We're in a nice little room. Haven't been able to look up at the ceiling yet. But here we go.
Drop down, bud.
There's some formations over there on the wall. So we've climbed down that hole and we're looking around. There's some formations in front of us and we're heading down underneath them.
Did you canyon across? What's over there?
It comes out of the.
So here's a decent sized walking passage. Well, we call it walking, but we're stooping.
That's what happens when you follow somebody.
And it is relatively dry in here. At least up in this level. Look at that big formation. Sucker's got some size to it.
Yeah, you can do across there.
Yeah.
Do you see something nautic?
Well, I was like,
Watch Alicia come through. Have to get out of the way a little bit. Well, while we're staying around waiting, let's look up and look at this formation. That's pretty neat. It's like a dome, or at least half a dome. Nice formations behind it. Moving down this passage again.
If you make yourself big and kind of like use both sides of the wall to brace yourself, you can just kind of like, you can control like how quickly you're
So
going
we're
down.
going to be taking a turn here, going through the smaller hole. It's about 4 foot high, it looks. Not too bad. But it does continue straight,
I'm using.
except that's not where we're going.
I would definitely
I'm
not
going to
want
stick our heads through this hole. Have to turn sideways here. Oh, he put that here. This must have been where that rope was.
Yeah, it's a rope down here. You probably can't see it from where you're at.
Okay. All right, we're going to have to go down this cable ladder and then get to the next level. Now we're down the rope. We can look back and see someone else coming down. It's kind of narrowing through here. All right, we'll turn and make our way into this next room. And it's not real big. And look it up around in this room. Look it around in this room. All right, we're going to head down the going passage. It's down the subway, the lower parts of the cave. I've been here before and you couldn't get too far in because of the water. So it's pretty dry today comparatively. We'll just work our way down this passage. Yeah, you can see where the floor used to be and water has cut it out. Yeah, we can see some water here. As we come down here, we see a bat. It's over here hanging on a rock. You can see it's all white from the moisture in the air is on its fur. It looked like he was moving a little bit, you know, rocking.
We probably.
All right, the passage keeps going. That was our first bat we've seen tonight. Some sawtoothed edges, a lot of flowstone.
Sometimes it's just hard to tell. Thank you.
That looks deep up that crack. Let's look up.
Back in that section.
In that side room. It's really hard to get into.
There's some soda straws,
Back.
stalagmites,
I would love to.
or rather stalactites. Stalagmites you can't really see. Look at this drippiness
It's
in
moist.
stone. Oh, look at the formations over there.
Does it get your undies in a bunch when people say
No.
Don't make me laugh in a cave.
I know, it echoes.
It echoes for days.
You can always tell where Angela is. And if she's in a good
Nice formations.
That's how I find her at work.
Oh, look at some of the pure white calcite there underneath that little ledge. It's a little wet in here, but that's okay. We're not having to crawl in it.
When invited to a new place, how moist is it? Because I think, you know, like,
All right. Ooh.
That's an important first question.
These are some nice formations. Looks like the passage goes up there. Oh, my foot just sunk to about 6 inches. Whoa, look ahead of us. Look at those formations. That's really neat.
Yeah.
They continue going on around the corner.
Which one?
I'm on my first hole.
Okay,
I think I've got one.
we've been told we've reached the end. There's just a little room beyond it. As we look up, there's some nice formations coming out of that hole, flowing down and dripping off. That's really nice.
I know.
All right, we're going to check out this little room. It's the slickness of the mud that makes it tough. Oh, look at the formations. So we stick our head in here and look around. It's not very big.
Oh, it is slippery.
Watch Alicia push herself through that little hole.
It don't matter what temperature it is.
So tight she had to take off her backpack. And she's in. Now we've turned the trip on this section. We're heading back to where we climbed down. And we're going to go under that into a different part of the cave. Now through this mud bath. Some nice formations. Got to look up every now and then because there's always a hole up in the ceiling where there's something nice. So a lot of times, the darker spots in the floor are full of water. And it's running or flowing. Well, maybe not so much, too much running, but it does come through here. And we think it's from Nestles Quarry Cave that's up on top. That stream. And then it exits here below our entrance and goes across the quarry floor over to the Potomac River. Look up there. See these ledges? They used to be the floor level. And over time, water sitting in here is eating them away and the water table's dropped. Alright, we're going to have to crawl through this hole. It's not so much a hole, it's just the wall drops down and opens back up. Here's where we came down, and we're going to keep going and see what's on the other side. Alright, we're going to pass this and go. I'm going to have to turn off the camera here so I can crawl through. Then I'll catch up with you on the other side. Popped out into a room, real tall ceiling, and down low is the direction we're headed. I can stand up again. Look at some of the formations on the wall. That's not a formation, that's Alicia. Making our way back down to the floor, and boy, we got borehole up here. Looks like some of the stone is got a bluish haze to it. All right, now we'll go down this big passage.
Oh, I like the formation up there.
Some soda straws up here on the ceiling.
On that rock on the left.
I see some people went low, some people went high.
When they go low, you go high.
Ashby's,
anything through there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a canyon passage, there's a dome.
Okay.
Formations, it's walking passage.
Well, I see Adam went up.
And then there's a sump back.
What's that?
It's
Adam's-
a sump.
Adam's back here.
Oh, who's that that went up?
It's my twin.
Angela.
Oh.
You do look a lot alike.
I'm talking about the suit.
Oh, okay.
This is the blue suit. The blue man.
All right, so we're gonna have to crawl a little bit here.
Back there, I saw somebody that was good. Oh, I see.
The squeeze is right around that turn. You'll be alright.
Adam's up there climbing in the mud.
Are you guys coming up here?
Yeah, that's
Looks like he's turning sideways. That looks like a tough little squeeze. So we're going to turn around and check out this other passage. He said it's the most highly decorated part of the cave. And we're looking at going up into this hole and hearing just some nice formations up there. So we're headed up there. Okay, we climbed up this slope. And we're looking around now. Some cool formations. We got to a point where we can stand up. Oh, look at that. Some nice formations here. Look how big they are. Figure 100 years for cubic inch. These are really old. Tall ceiling with a dome up there. Okay, they call this the formation room. So it's the most decorated spot in the cave. And from what I've seen, it is. Oh, look at that white calcite. That's pretty pure with it being that white. This is a slippery slope down to where we were. We're not going to go that way. We'll go back the way we came. Soda straws. Slope goes up. That's a nice wall there. Well, that flowstone, like little bars. Here's some nice stalagmites underneath the stalactites, and there they've grown into a column. All right, now we're going to head back down this slope. Okay, we got some sloppy floor here, but that's okay, we're heading out. Okay, we found some of our friends in the cave. Mario, Princess Peach, and Donkey Kong. They're big cavers. We see them a lot in the caves. Okay, we made our way back to the entrance. Getting ready to climb out of that. We had a great trip. See you next time. Whoa, look ahead of us. Look at those formations. That's really neat.
Yeah.